Hey, what's up, everybody? Light night in the NBA. 4 games, and they're done early. And bam, here we are, a little bit after 11 o'clock live with the fantasy goodies, about an hour before we usually do. Come on in here with us. We're having fun. It is Cam. It is Doc. He's a Hall of Famer. And we're the OGs, man. So want to tell you about our sponsor, Bet Online, and then we will get to our Magic Man of the night. Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for betting on all the madness. You know what that is. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, Bet Online is your ultimate game day companion with the largest selection of odds and everything from college basketball to a $200,000 bracket contest that I'll be playing in. Bet Online continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every Cinderella story to every hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here. Doc, get us tipped off with your Magic Man from a light Tuesday night.
It was a light night indeed. I was thinking about maybe James Harden, but they lost. Zubac played well. They lost.
Thought it was Jimmy. Thought it was Jimmy, though.
Jimmy Harden. I'm going to go with your guy, Cade Cunningham. 27 points, 8 boards, 10 assists, a steal, a 3. Nothing spectacular, but very solid. And they got a 20-point win over Washington, covered the spread, made people happy. So good job, Cade.
Doc, I'm going to be going here with Zion Williamson. Zion Williamson, Doc, had a triple-double tonight. And Zion Williamson, Doc, has not been shut down. He is playing some pretty good ball here for the New Orleans Pelicans. It would have been better if it was early in the year when it mattered, and New Orleans would have not lost 20 games in a row or whatever it was. But Zion Williamson tonight, this is against the Clippers, with Zubac, with Kawhi, with Harden. Chris Dunn, Batum was starting, obviously without Norman Powell here, but the Clippers are one of the better teams in the NBA. Zion just hit them with a triple-double, and New Orleans won the game 22, 10, and 12 from Zion Williamson. So good for the young fella, man. Zion Williamson, Doc, has been playing good ball. Dude, like, who would have thought that Zion Williamson would actually be like a reliable savior type of guy for fantasy managers in the fantasy playoffs? Because he's Zion and he misses every game seemingly. But dude, right now, Zion is kind of cooking. I would love to have Zion in lineups right now. He's actually rehabbed his value. I may send out an offer in the Cam Dynasty. Do you think in the Cam Dynasty, do you think a first-round pick in Filipowski is going to get me some Zion?
It could.
It's a first-round pick. It's Filipowski. He's been kind of dope. I don't know. I may make that offer. Actually, you know what I love doing, Doc? I love doing this ish live on the air with you. That always cracks me up. All right, let's do it. I'm going to put that trade offer out there right now.
I have no faith in Zion Williamson still.
What do you mean?
None.
What do you mean
I
you don't
have
have
no
any
faith
in
that he's going to play tomorrow or the next day or the next day. I'm
Wow,
still all
okay.
the way out.
So you think I'm nuts? Do you think I'm nuts? Actually, like, is that a stupid offer by me? Filipowski in a first in next year's draft, and I'm going to be the pick is not going to be a great pick. It's going to be, hopefully I win the chip again, and it's the 14th pick, the last pick of the first round. But it's going to be a deep pick in the first round. Do you think I'm dumb or what?
No, I think you. It's funny because I feel like you were all the way out on Zion, and now you're like, I'm kind of feeling this. I kind of went back in the Zion game, and then he's going to get hurt, and you're going to be all ticked off and raging, and you'll be like, never again. And then we're just going to have to remind you that you said never again.
I'm not doing it.
Nice.
I'm not doing it, Doc. I'm getting too frothy here with the triple-double. You're right. Dude, thank you for bringing me back. Thank you because my feet were like lifting up off the ground. You grabbed my ankles and pulled me back down to earth. That's what friends do. Bro, that's what friends do for friends. Thank you. I needed to hear that, Doc. I don't. You're right, okay? Because what have I said about John Morant and Zion Williamson? I'm out. I'm never going back there again. What is wrong with me? Why am I?
Well, we got a very svelte-looking Zion this year.
Oh, my God. Very svelte. Very
super
svelte.
in shape.
But I'm gonna leave him on Scotty Messina's team. I'm gonna put out some Filipowski plus a first-round pick trades. Try to get some, like I put one out for Desmond Bane tonight with the 13th place team. He's got Desmond Bane. I need an SF. So I'm like, Filipowski, and I actually offered my second round pick, Filipowski first and second round pick for Desmond Bane. He's a tough cookie. I don't think he's just going to give me Desmond Bane, but his team sucks. I mean, plan for the future. Get draft picks. Give me Desmond Bane. Let me go win another chip. Let's go. All right, where the hell are we? All right, we just concluded the Magic, man, and Doc has slapped me upside the face and got me right about Zion Williamson. For the love of God, man, run for your life. Doc, give me some do you want me to go first on must-add pickups from this 4-game Tuesday night? You want me to go first? You want to go first or what?
I got some guys.
Hit me with some guys.
Keyshawn George, still playing well for Washington, still getting tons of minutes for Washington. I mean, I feel like we've been talking about him for months, right? And he shouldn't still. I mean, if he should be rostered in leagues where it matters, but just in case he's not. And then Bilal Coulibaly is hurt for Washington, and that means Justin Champagnie, I think, is going to get a ton of run the rest of the way. And Champagnie wasn't great tonight. He's 2 for 8, 5 points, 8 boards, a steal and a block. But that's good because that means he's going to be available in leagues. And I think now's the perfect time to pick Champagnie up and let him rip for the rest of the season. Chris Dunn, steals machine. He had 3 more steals tonight for the Clippers. Roll with him until Norman Powell is back. And then your guy, Jose Grand Theft Alvarado, and Jordan Hawkins. I'm coming around on Jordan Hawkins. Both of those guys played pretty well tonight for New Orleans. New Orleans got a big win against the Clippers. And neither one of them started. I don't think. They both came off the bench. But Alvarado played 25 minutes. Hawkins played 22. They both scored in double figures. And Alvarado had 2 steals. So Alvarado, I think, is a hot pickup. Jordan Hawkins, I think you play him in DFS if you need a cheap guy, but I don't know if he's pickup material yet.
And you play him in 30 deep if you're Ricky Props against Aaron Bruschi. You put Hawkins in your lineup. I believe he's the only guy on my team, Doc, this week that has only 3 games. Try to load up with a lot of 4-game weeks. And it's a busy week in the NBA. There's a lot of teams with 4 games. Me and Bruschi are in a battle royale. Right. I haven't looked at the score tonight. He had me 5-4 after last night. And I know Doc is going to be a couple of clicks away from the
I am up 5-4 on the Tyrese Maxey list, David Kleiss. He's got Maxey in his lineup, dude. And if Maxey sits all week, that could work in my favor. Rick Kamla is up 6-3 on Aaron Bruschi as we speak.
Really? That's encouraging.
Jordan Hawkins had 3 triples, 11 points. You had Brooke Lopez with a nice game.
Bro. Yeah. I am not going to celebrate. Okay. This is Brew. This is our boy. And out of respect, I mean, I haven't done anything yet. We're through 2 nights.
Over. And it ain't over.
It's far from over. But I just I hate playing against Brew this week. I think it sucks. I wish I could root for him and root for me, but we're playing against each other, and it is what it is. I want to sit on Jose Alvarado.
My game gets the winner of your game next week. So it is.
It has already gotten very, very real in here, folks. So Jose Alvarado had that week from hell that didn't make any sense. And since Doc, in the last 3 games, you talk about a must-add pickup for sure. He's gone 17, 4, and 7 with a steal, and it doesn't say how many threes, but he had at least one. Then 11 points, 11 assists, 2 blocks, 1 steal, and it looks like 2 threes. And then tonight, 14 points, 4 assists, 2 steals, and had 4 threes. All right. I have a question for you, Doc, and this involves me in the Cam Dynasty, but this is a good conversation for all of you because Trey Jones might be on your waiver wire right now, and frankly, looking pretty good on the waiver wire. Chris Paul, is he still on your team? Has he drifted to the waiver wire? And then Jose Alvarado. So right now in the Cam Dynasty, I am rostering Trey Jones. I'm rostering Chris Paul. And I've been keeping my eye on Jose Alvarado, but I've not picked him up yet. He just had another good line. Now we're back to back to back. Okay. I want to pick up Jose. Are you dropping, Doc, either Chris Paul or Trey Jones to pick up Jose Alvarado? How are you treating those 3 sort of waiver wire bubblicious players?
Yes, I would cut either of them to pick up Alvarado. Chris Paul is basically 40 years old. Wemby's gone. Pop's gone. Chris Paul's not going to finish out the season. If he does, I don't know why it happened. Like it doesn't make any sense to me, other than the fans want to see Chris Paul play, whatever. And then Trey Jones, that one to me is a little bit tougher, but I still would rather have Alvarado than Trey Jones. I just like, I mean, it's all in the nickname, right? Grand Theft. He's a steals machine. Alvarado is maybe not as big as Chris Dunn, but pretty good at steals. So yeah, I'd cut either one of those guys for Alvarado.
Okay. Well, he's already been picked up in the Cam Dynasty, so the point is moot. But it was a good exercise, and so I will keep Trey Jones and Chris Paul and hope for the best. Chris Paul is so close to being cut by my team, but he's still a good source for steals. He's still a good source for assists, and he's still a good source for threes. Okay, the exact same categories that Jose Alvarado is a good source for. Now, Doc, the problem with Trey Jones, the PRA is solid. The defensive goodies are okay, but he never hits threes. That's the buzzkill with Trey Jones. He'll have like 1 3 every 3rd game. Not good. Okay, Jose Alvarado, we both agree. Guys, if you're watching this live, come hang with us in the Sports Ethos YouTube channel. Drop your questions on the live chat. If you are listening on the podcast feed, you can join us on Discord and interact with our community. And Andre is saying he's our producer and resident Spurs fan. I am, I think, a Spurs fan. I'm on the bandwagon. I joined the bandwagon, Doc, and immediately Wemby went out with the blood clots, so I suck. But the reason, Andre says, the reason for CP3 to play is the Spurs seem to want to bring him back next season, want to keep him happy, and it seems like he wants to play. All of that is true. Because, Doc, what did he say at the beginning of the year? If I'm not playing, I'm dying, or something like that, right? He does not want to come off the bench. He does not want to, like, be an OG and not play. He wants to freaking play. He's a baller, okay? Love CP3 that way. One of the best, like, gamers we've ever had in our sport. All right. You mentioned Keyshawn George. And again, Doc, I'm going to have to do I don't even know what I was going to say. But I just want to say this, and it seems like I say this every single night about Keyshawn George. He is one of the best fantasy gold guys in the NBA. Again tonight, Doc, he went 1 block, 3 steals, 2 threes. Let me look up really quick here our guy Keyshawn George. These are the most important categories in fantasy basketball: block, steals, and threes. If you're playing head-to-head, if you're in Roto, which sucks, they're not the most important categories because, and I know Brew's a big Roto guy, God bless him and respect, but you guys know I don't like Roto leagues. I think they're boring. I think head-to-head is the way to go, both in baseball and basketball. But Doc, Keyshawn George, and I know a lot of you disagree with me, that's fine. Keyshawn George, and this doesn't include tonight's game, over the last week, 3 blocks, 2.3 threes. Over the last 2 weeks, 2 blocks, 1 steal, 2 threes. Over the last month, 1.6 blocks, 1 steal, 2 threes. He's a goody guy. He is a fantastic goody guy right now. I'm rostering him in all kinds of leagues. He should not be a streamer. Doc, how are you feeling about Alex Sarr? Because I like Alex Sarr right now. He did not have a great stat line tonight. 8 points, 7 boards, 2 assists, 1 block, 1 3 in 23 minutes. But the games before were pretty good. How are you feeling about Alex Sarr on the waiver wire right now?
Dude, I don't know. I wish somebody other than Steph Castle would step up and try to win this award, but they're just going to let Stephon Castle have it without even putting up a fight. Alex Sarr, Zachary Sachet, other guys, I'm sure. I don't know, man. I don't know that I can trust Alex Sarr to play every night. And that's a buzzkill.
So that's a no. All right. I wanted to see if you had any kind of tickle at all on Alex Sarr, and you don't, and that's fine. Doc, you know that I'm not a Zaire Williams guy. You know this. Zaire Williams frustrates me. He befuddles me. He lets me down. But I picked him up today, Doc, in a couple of leagues.
Really?
I did. Yeah, I went there. Zaire Williams and the Nets are in a 5-game week. And I feel like Zaire Williams may play in all these games, Doc. Why would Zaire Williams be like, he'd be like, why are you resting me?
Not? Yeah.
Why would he not play, right? The Cam Johnsons, the Cam Thomases, the Nick Claxtons, they're the ones that are subject, D'Lo, they're the ones that are subject here to rest. I don't feel like Zaire is. And so tonight, he went 14 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, and 4 threes. Zaire, you're my new favorite player. You went from I can't trust you and I don't really like you to, yeah, let's go, dude. So I'm not kidding. That's actually how I felt about it, but a little bit strong with the I don't like him thing. I don't dislike him. I'm just talking strong here or whatever, but
you're not lying, dude. Every time I bring up Zaire Williams' name, you're like, nah, don't trust him, man. Not doing it. And here we are.
Might be a great human being. I don't know. I've never met him, but as a fantasy basketball player, not my guy. But he is this week, Doc. But he is this week. And he's off to a good start with me. And guys, he still has 3 games left. Brooklyn just got done with a back-to-back. So you look, most guys are going to have, well, I guess you kind of had to get in early to really maximize on the 5-game week thing, because now it's 3 games remaining for the last 5 days of the weeks. That's not really that advantageous. So anyway, I like what he's putting out there right now. And we talked about Jose and, I was going to bring up Carlo Matkovic, but he's just a streamer, Doc. So I'm just going to cross that out and move on. I mean, he had a good game tonight, right, without Olynyk. I think a lot of us streamed him tonight, but he has not ascended past streamer Bill because of the way they're playing him and then not playing him in New Orleans. Give me 3 drops after this 4-game Tuesday night, Dr. A.
Well, with my Clippers, I have Amir Coffey in 30 deep, and he's struggling so much that he's not even in my lineup, which is weird. Derek Jones Jr. is in my lineup. And I am saying that both of those guys, unless you're in a deeper league, you don't need to hold on to either one of them. Nick Batum is getting tons of minutes with Norman Powell out. Chris Dunn is getting tons of minutes. And I think Derek Jones Jr. and Coffey are just waiver wire fodder. So I don't think you need to mess with them. And then Nick Claxton has just been bad for the Nets. And he's playing 5 games, so he's in a ton of lineups this week. What did he do tonight? Like nothing. It was
yet another garbage game, dude.
Just garbage. And I really thought Nick Claxton was going to be good. He was 4 of 8, 9 points, 4 boards, 2 blocks. So
like Yves Missi is scoffing at that line, right?
Yeah, everyone is scoffing at that line. It's bad. It's just not good. So those are my 3 drops.
Bro, even Misi's like, dude, what's that, man? You're not even at my level, homie. Even Misi's talking junk to Nick Claxton right now via your boy Ricky Props.
Like too small.
Drops for me. What were you gonna say?
Too small.
Too small, like Patrick Beverley. I miss Patrick Beverley.
Yeah.
Do you miss Patrick Beverley? I miss Patrick Beverley in the NBA.
Dude, he was a great villain. He's a great villain. Him and Jackie Christie.
Why can't we get him back? Why can't we get Pat Bev back, dude? He went to Israel, right? Andre will be able to correct me. He went to Israel, and then Andre, you'll be able to tell me the whole story. Why did he leave early and stuff? I just random thought bubble. Like I see him on Twitter, the Pat Bev pod and all this kind of stuff. His stuff with Rome is fantastic. Doc, I gotta tell you a story. So me and Antonio Daniels are hosting Give and Go on NBA radio, right? And Antonio, Doc, you got to understand, okay? He doesn't swear. He doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke. He is a straight arrow. I love Antonio Daniels, okay? Like, I had to clean it up, right? Like, even off the air stuff where you say, like, the D word or the H word. Like, I don't even want to say that around him, right? I want it just to be pristine, right? Because I know how he rolls, and I want to respect that. So, we have Patrick Beverley on NBA radio. We are live, Doc. We are live. Okay. I want to ask you a question. I'm gonna set. How many F-bombs do you think he dropped in a 15-minute interview with me and Antonio Daniels? How many F-bombs? Just take a guess.
20.
It wasn't that much. No, it wasn't that much. I'll go under on that. It was over 5. It was like between 5 and 10, dude. There were some sentences where it was like 2 F-bombs in the same sentence. And so I'm over here like, I'm dying. I got my hand on the mute button. I'm cracking up, bro. Love it. Absolutely love it. And I know Antonio's cringing, right? Like, And when we got done with the interview during the break, Andre was like, Antonio was like, I don't know if we can have him on again. And I'm like, I agree. I'm like, yeah, you might be right. And I'm thinking to myself, no, for the love of God, no, we got to have him on as a weekly guest. Dude, he was dropping MFers, right? And just, dude, it was a cuss festival.
And were you guys
NBA
on
radio.
like, are you on any kind of delay where your producer guy?
No, dude, it's like, what do they call it? Either cable radio or satellite radio. So you can swear. You can. Do you know what I'm saying? But like, I never cussed because like, the bosses were like, it's a family show, blah, 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 which is cool. But there are like Fight Nation on Sirius XM, they cuss. Do you remember when Barstool Sports used to be on Sirius XM before they like launched into their own deal? Do you remember that?
Yeah, and Howard Stern also. I mean,
and Howard Stern,
Lisa Ann, like you got the whole crew.
Dude, the Barstool guys, every other word was a swear word when those guys were on.
Yeah,
like it was hilarious. Like I'm listening to like NFL radio and fantasy sports radio and NBA radio when I'm driving around, right? And it's just straight, very professional. And you pop on Barstool, and they're like, "This guy bleeping sucks. He is the worst." Bleep. Like just like it was like. Kind of refreshing and kind of like, I don't know, kind of like too much in some ways too. I was like, God dang, like these dudes are just a tsunami wave. I don't know if I need all this. All right, let's reel it in here. Doc, Keon Johnson is a drop. I've been out on him for a while. Doc, he had 1 point in 29 minutes tonight, dude. Can't work with this. Does not compute. He had 1 point. 1 in 29 minutes. Bye. Doc, I don't know if you know this. Tyrese Halliburton played tonight. Did you see that? I'm sure you did. I'm joking. Guess what happens when Tyrese Halliburton comes back, Doc? We talk about the pivot guys in a good way, but then there are anti-pivot guys. Like when the main dude comes back, we got to immediately send a guy to waivers. Who is that guy for the Indiana Pacers? A little pop quiz for you, Doc.
Oh, I'm not sure. Is it Benny Mathurin?
Yes, but I had another guy in mind. Take one more stab at the guy.
Is it the TJ McConnell?
No, but you got the right position, kind of.
Who's the other point guard over there?
Nembhard. Yeah, Nembhard. Nebhard.
your guy.
Nebhard's like a 1/2, kind of a positionless guy. But Nebhard, when Hallie is back, Nebhard is garbage. When Hallie is out, Nebhard is somebody you want on your team. So let's see here. Andre's giving us some goodies on Pat Bev. He says, Pat Bev, I believe his family was pressuring him not to be in Israel because of the war. But yes, he played there. And he said his fiance is from Iran, and those two countries being at war. Yeah, that could be dicey and spicy right there. Let's get Pat Bev back in the NBA, baby. That's what I'm saying. Like, why doesn't one of these contenders pick him up for the stretch run? Like the Knicks just picked up PJ Tucker on a 10-day. Why doesn't somebody 10-day Pat Bev? I don't get it. I want some Pat Bev back in the league. Doc, I'm really a live wire right now, dude. I'm on one. And then finally, Bogey Bogdanovic. Bogey Bogdanovic has had a couple of games. Did you see his game tonight, Doc? It sucked. It was nickels and dimes. I'm seeing a lot of nickels and dimes from Bogey Bogdanovic. Do you feel differently about Bogey Bogdanovic? I know you were banging on Amir Coffey, whose value is completely fallen off the table. But how are you with Bogey Bogdanovic right now?
I think Bogey is worth having around as long as Norm Powell is out. But tonight was garbage, and he hasn't really popped. I mean, I don't know.
No defense. He used to be a pretty good steal guy. There's no steals on the game log here.
I feel like he's just been injured so much throughout his career that he's not. He just doesn't have it anymore. I don't know. 16 minutes, dude. 3 of 9. Bunch of nothing. Amir Coffey played 20 minutes. Derek Jones Jr. played 26. And Nick Batum played 28. So I don't know what was going on there. Oh, plus he was a minus 19 when most of the rest of his team was not that. Him and Amir Coffey were minus 19 and 20. Everybody else was, for the most part, plus. So
do you think that'll ever become a fantasy basketball stat, plus minus?
I'm sure it is in some leagues.
It is in hockey. It is in hockey. I play in hockey leagues. Plus minus is a thing in hockey. It is a quantifiable category in head-to-head hockey leagues.
It is. Yeah, it would be interesting. I think, offensive rebounds, plus minus. There's tons of other things people can do to spice up their leagues if they want to. But, I play in a baseball league where the dude made so many tweaks to the format that pitchers are way more valuable than batters. It's all about just stacking your pitching with as many guys as you can get. And there's you get points for a right fielder having a put out at second base. You have all this just weird stuff. And I'm like, dude, just scrap the whole thing and go back to basics. Because these people that play in this league have no idea how real fantasy baseball works. And then he texts me this year and he's like, oh, I don't have time to run the league. I'm not doing it. Okay, I'll find another one.
So the league just died? That's the end of the story, is that the league got whacked?
Taking it off this year. Taking a year off. So I don't know. And he was moving it. That was the one he was moving to Fantrax. I was like, dude, I don't know if I can do that anyway.
Taking a year off means that the league is dead. And people won't. Yeah, I mean, whatever. By the way,
while we're talking about baseball,
go to sportsethos.com and check out our MLB draft guide, guys. I am currently penning an article about the outfield. And I've got a strategy where you go top 4 picks, you go infield, then you go your next 3 picks with outfield. And it's not like you stack it. It's like just how the draft goes. Like you infield, position scarcity is a huge thing in the infield positions. And so you can fade outfield to rounds 5, 6, and 7, and you're still going to get badass outfielders. But if you invert that and wait till rounds 5, 6, and 7 for infielders, you'll be lucky if you get Marcus Simeon. Okay. So you got to start with infielders. But Our MLB draft tracker is live. Code MLB 2025 for 25% off. Okay, check it out. Go to sportsethos.com. We will help you win fantasy baseball titles. What's
Ricky
up, Doc?
props in baseball and football. I draft, and I don't write it down, but I draft by position. I'm like, okay, I need a third baseman right now, and I just take whatever third baseman is there, or I need a starting pitcher. I take the best. In basketball, I don't do that. Like, I don't draft a forward or center or a guard. I just grab the best player available and worry about filling in the holes later. But with baseball and football, like football back in the day, I always went running back. But now it's wide receivers where all the money is. So I don't really care about the players I get. It's more about the positions and filling those in with the good players available. Whereas basketball, all I care about is players.
I like that. The one thing I would say about fantasy basketball where I'm different is I do, and Doc, again, I'm pretty much trying to go best player available. I'm with you. But there is a slant towards forwards, especially power forwards in the early picks. Because I just find there's position scarcity at power forward. It's small forward, not so much. There's a million guards, guys. There's a million of them, okay? And you think about Yahoo leagues, Doc. First of all, there's a bunch of good centers. But then you've got all the PFCs, right? There's a ton of power forwards who also gain that little C of eligibility, right? So it's not hard to get good centers in fantasy basketball right now. It's not. Matter of fact, I think it's kind of easy. Power forward is the hardest position to get in fantasy basketball. And I know we're talking draft stuff here and we're in the fantasy playoffs, but we're just riffing here. We're talking fantasy hoops. But I am BPA, Doc, but with a slant towards power forwards. And then, like, you know, if I get LeBron and I get Paulo, like, I'm good. Okay, now, like, guard. You know what I'm saying? But, like, I do try to bang a couple of power forwards and PFSFs early and check those boxes of the forward positions because I find them very, very hard to fill.
Speaking of LeBron, how good has he been this year? And like we hardly ever talk about him, but what a stud 40-year-old season he is having, and sucks that he got hurt. But man, he's just unbelievable.
He is, dude. It's his 22nd season. Doc, you know that this is the longest season in NBA history. The only other guy to play this long was Vince Carter. And Vince Carter averaged, 7 points in his final year in the NBA? Maybe 9, right? It was like low-dose stuff with Atlanta. But LeBron is like putting up all NBA, like fringe MVP type of numbers. Dude, it's a joke. It's a joke. What is he, 25, 8, and 8 this year? Come on, dude. Come on, dude. It's otherworldly. All right, so we've done the drops here. Do you have any followers after the 4-game Tuesday night?
I mentioned Nick Claxton, and then I think I would be remiss to not mention Day'Ron Sharp.
Dude.
Has not been. He had that big game, dude. That one big game that viewer was like, man, I'm dropping Donovan Clingan and picking up Day, and we're like, are you though?
Dude, he thought he won the chip, bro. Day thought he won the chip with that game. He powered down, dude. He has not done anything since that game.
He really hasn't. And then you're not gonna believe this, Rick, but the one guy I have written down as a riser is Zaire Williams.
There you go. Zaire Williams getting some love over here. Doc, Donovan Mitchell, what is going on? Dude, Donovan Mitchell is not good right now. He didn't play on Tuesday. Rest, blah, blah, blah. His numbers have been lame over the last week. On Monday Night Show, I went through how the 3 balls gone from like 3 to 2.5 to 2 to 1.5. Like, it's just straight shot downward all year long. there's just a lot of arrows pointing down for Donovan Mitchell right now. And you have the fact that Cleveland's in cruise control mode. You can forget about back-to-backs at this point, probably, right? He didn't play tonight in a home game against Brooklyn because they knew they would win. They barely won, but they won because they win every damn game. But to me, Donovan Mitchell's a faller. I'm not saying like, I mean, like it is what it is. Like you're not going to be able to trade him. Most trade deadlines are passed. I've got him in the Cam dynasty. I just got to hope for the best. Play him when he's available and hope for the best. But he's in a bad way right now. Ty Jerome, y'all got to get over Ty Jerome. The line sucked, okay, and then he's out tonight with rest. Who rests Ty Jerome? He's a bench player. Why are we resting a bench player? Ty Jerome at home against Brooklyn, he was probably pissed off. He's like, dude, this is a 30-point game for me tonight. You're resting me? What is that? They rested DeAndre Hunter tonight. I don't like it. But y'all, I love y'all, but y'all are too high on Ty Jerome, man. I'm telling you. He doesn't steal enough. He doesn't three enough. It's weird now with Strus and DeAndre Hunter. They're freaking resting Ty Jerome.
By the way, your boy Donovan Mitchell over the last 2 weeks, 11th round value. Not good. Not good.
Doo-doo is what
Ty Jerome, 10th round value.
Doo-doo. But better than Don. Doc, I think you said in the last show or maybe late last week, Osar Thompson, bye-bye. I am now with Osar Thompson, bye-bye. And I love the kid, but bye-bye. He played what number? I don't even know what that number means. In the last 3 games, Doc, he's gone 6 points, 5 points, 8 points. Okay. I know he's not a big scorer, but you can't hit me with 6 points, 5 points, and 8 points. I got to send you back to waivers. The minutes are down for him. Ron Holland is playing more. They still play your boy Fontecchio. I'm like contractually obliged to say your boy with Fontecchio. I was just looking for a chuckle there, and I got one, and it was grudging.
Fontecchio is not my boy.
That's why I say he's your boy. It's because you don't want him to be your boy. So, of course, that he's absolutely your boy.
Ty Jerome, Quentin Grimes, they're my boys.
And
Luka.
Yeah, Luka's your boy. Luka's your boy. Doc, Kyle Kuzma sucks now. Dude, Kyle Kuzma sucks now. Did you see this line tonight? 9 points, 4 boards, 2 assists, no blocks, no steals. Thanks, dude. He played like 35 minutes or something, too. What a horse bleep line from Kyle Kuzma. Bro, remember earlier this year when Tobias Harris was in a rut and you and I were both like, you can go ahead and send him to waivers, man. Tobias ain't helping anybody. And then Tobias got it together, and he's actually, he had another pretty good game tonight. He's solid fantasy guy, not great, but solid. What are we doing with Kuzma here, Doc?
Dude, he's only. I feel like we're in the movie. Dude, where's my car? Dude, what's my tattoo say? Dude, sweet. Dude, what's my tattoo say? Dude. We're saying dude so much, but it's okay. I like saying dude. I don't feel like Kyle Kuzma can survive in fantasy if he's not the man, if he's not the alpha. The times he's been surprisingly good at fantasy hoops is when he's kind of the man, and Damian Lillard and Giannis are the guys. Kuzma's he's just there to rebound, which he's not even doing that. He's there to score a little bit. He's not doing that. I don't know what's going on, dude. He's not good.
If y'all want to cut Kyle Kuzma, I'm not going to stand in your way. Usually it'd be like, no, stop sign. Don't, okay? Hang in there. If you want it, you guys do what you got to do with Kyle Kuzma. If you want to go get Stephon Castle, recommend it, okay? If you want to go get Keyshawn George, recommend it. Am I dropping Kuzma for Jose Alvarado? Yeah, I probably am. Jose's putting up better goodies right now than Kuzma, dude. I don't feel like there's going to be a pop from Kuzma. So I don't feel like
Chris Dunn, I'd rather have.
Good point. But you see what I'm saying? Like, Doc, I don't feel like there's going to be FOMO with Kyle Kuzma. And that keeps me from, like, dude, I hung on to Klingon forever, right? Because of FOMO, fear of missing out. I didn't want Klingon to suddenly start going 20-20 every game. And I'm like, damn, why did I drop him? I don't have those vibes with Kuzma.
Yeah. And I think you would have those vibes with Kelly Oubre, who we were talking about in tomorrow's show.
Exactly. That's why I'm waiting one more game on.
Like, I don't think you want to
Yep.
cut Kelly Oubre, because if he comes back and plays well, you know, if you cut Kelly Oubre, you got to say goodbye to him because he ain't coming back. Kuzma, hell, you can cut him. You might be able to pick him back up next week.
He will not be a hot guy on the waiver wire because you got to be putting up some numbers to have that be the case. Give me 3 risers after a 4-game Tuesday night, Doc. It is Cam. It is Doc. We're the Fantasy NBA today. Guys, download the Sports Ethos app. It's completely free. It's awesome. What you got, Doc?
My only riser I have written down is Zaire Williams. Zaire Williams, like you said earlier, I think in this show today, he may not sit out any of these 5 games this week. He has no reason to. He's thankful to be in the league. He's thankful to be playing. And he's playing pretty well. So I feel like Kyrie is, or not Kyrie. I feel like Zaire is a riser. And then Noah Clowney only played 17 minutes tonight for Brooklyn, but he scored 12 points, had 3 threes. So just keep your eye on Noah Clowney. I think a lot of us feel like he's going to be a good player one day. I don't know when it's going to happen or when he's going to pop, but I don't know. That's about where I'm at. And then who is going to step up and clean up this Donovan Mitchell stuff? Because Max Strus, 2 of 10 tonight. Isaac Okoro, man. He's just Isaac Okoro is one of those starters in real life that will never have fantasy value. So, I don't know.
He's not a fantasy guy. He's a reality guy. And you know that. Some guys just don't translate to the box score, man. He's one of those guys. Risers for me, Doc. Cam Thomas. Oh, is it good to have Cam Thomas back? I love Cam Thomas. 27 points in 32 minutes. This guy is killing it. He was born to score. I've got him in a big league. Sam Hinkie's led the league I'm looking for the dynasty in. I'm so happy that Cam Thomas is back. I know he's not going to play back-to-backs, and there's probably going to be some more rest games, but dang it, he's back, and he's available. He's a riser. Doc, we got tremendous news on Jordan Poole tonight. And this is why Washington's really not tanking. Jordan Poole played tonight, and the stat line, 15 points with some goodies and whatever. Typical Jordan Poole stuff. Doc, he played in both sides of the back-to-back. Extremely noteworthy. That's extremely noteworthy. Utah's like,
it is.
Utah's like, what? Back-to-backs? Forget about that. Washington's like, you're healthy, you play. Guess what? We suck. We lose every game anyway. We're going to be in the pole position for Cooper Flag, even if we play our best guys, because we're that freaking bad. So shout out to Washington, and shout out to Jordan Poole for wanting more of that action. But Jordan Poole is going to be a guy for you now down the stretch. I think with him playing this back-to-back, barring some kind of other injury, you're good to go. Jordan Poole's going to play. I don't think he's going to get shut down.
What a bizarre thing they are doing. Like, the Washington Wizards have 13 wins. 13. And they're playing Chris Middleton 23 minutes in March. They're playing Jordan Poole 26 minutes in March. They're playing Rashawn Holmes 22 minutes. Marcus Smart 21 minutes. Like, these are old, banged up guys, and they're just running them out there every night. Like, we're gonna win the lottery even with playing all those guys. So It's just wild.
It is indeed, dude. He is Hall of Famer Steve Alexander. I am Rick Kamla. We are the Fantasy NBA today. One more riser for you. Well, Brooke Lopez, who was just unbelievably terrible over the last week, had a big game tonight, 23.7 boards. So he's gone. He's out of the penalty box, Doc. He's off the faller list and on the riser list, if only for a game. Tyrese Halliburton came back tonight. So let's shout him out quickly here. If you are a manager of Tyrese Halliburton, you can breathe easier. And he had a double-double tonight, 14 and 10 with 2 steals. So those are my risers. Now, Doc, let's get to some of the news here from Tuesday night. We talked about, D'Lo missed this game with right ankle injury management. So we'll see where we go with that. Talked a lot about Zaire and Cam Thomas. I'm looking for notes here. Torian Prince getting minutes. Bucks have an interesting schedule with a lot of games and low traffic days, making him an interesting streamer. I'm looking at it that way. Not a lot else rotationally here, unless you see something off of our list that you want to talk about.
What should people do with Bilal Coulibaly? You just throw him in an injured spot and hold him?
Well, but he hasn't been injured for long enough yet. In Yahoo leagues, I believe he still has DTD or GTD by him. I'm probably cutting him. Usually in Yahoo leagues, it takes about 3 DMPs before they give you the INJ, unless you're like immediately ruled out for a week or two. And then they can give you the INJ a little bit sooner. I'm probably cutting him, Doc. I'm probably cutting Bilal. Because it's not like Bilal Coulibaly was doing statistical stuff that was like so freaking fantastic before that. I mean, the kid was solid, but I'm cutting him.
All right. He's pretty good.
How about you?
You
hanging in there? It's the quarterfinals. You're missing out on man games. What are we doing here?
Push comes to shove on Wednesday night, because tonight you didn't have to worry about it because there weren't enough games. Wednesday, yeah, I don't know. I'm holding Coulibaly right now. It's a hip bruise, so he shouldn't be out too long. But I'm if he misses his next game and they're like, yeah, he's going to be week to week, bye.
All right, Doc, let's get into the studs of Tuesday night and the duds of Tuesday night, the biggest waiver wire performances. The studs, James Harden, 25, 4, and 17, 2 steals, 4 threes. Number 2, Darius Garland, 30 points, 8 assists, 4 threes, 3 threes. And my guy Zion, triple-doubling with 22, 10, and 12 and a block. CJ McCollum actually felt like playing ball tonight. He had 23 points, 7 dimes, 3 steals, 5 threes, probably his last spike game of the year. And then, Doc, you and I were both pissed at Vegas last night for overvaluing Ivica Zubac at 19.5 with his point prop. And we said to play the under, and 13.5 was his rebound prop, both way overinflated. And, Doc, we were right. He had 19 and 11 tonight with 5 assists and 4 blocks. I mean, it's all the stat line, but Vegas overvalued Ivica Zubac, and we told him so.
Yeah, you were all over that, dude. You totally called that. Jimmy Harden carrying my 30 deep squad. Jimmy and Miles Bridges, man. Those are my boys. And I just figured out why your 30 deep team is so damn good this year. You have SGA. You must have had like the 3rd pick in the draft.
4th. 4th. It was Wemby, Jokic, Luka, SGA. I got the 4th pick, and I was like, let's go. Because I knew I was going to get Luka or SGA. I wasn't going to get Jokic or Wemby, but I knew I was going to get Luka or SGA. And it's so important in a 30-team league to get a 2-player for the price of 1 player like that, right? Like some people's best player might have been like, I don't know, Doc Julius Randle, or you know what I mean? Like if you have like the 25th pick, right? I mean, you're getting a good player, but I'm getting SGA. You're getting the 25th best player. It's a huge advantage to be high, I believe, in the 30 deep draft.
The 2 years that my team totally sucked over the last 10 was 1 year I drafted Ja Morant, and the other year I drafted Zion Williamson, my first pick. And those were both disastrous seasons, and it was just over. And then, dude, I'm trying to figure out who Brewski drafted with his first pick. It must have been De'Aaron Fox, because his best player is De'Aaron Fox. And then he's got Amen Thompson and Danny Gafford injured and on the bench. So I would say advantage Ricky props right now.
We'll see. Long way to go. We got 5 more nights. Me and Brew are button heads in 30 deep. All right, top waiver wire performances tonight. TJ McConnell heard from. 12 points, 7 assists, 4 steals, 1 block. Jose Alvarado, who we've talked a lot about, 4 assists, 2 steals, 4 threes. Keyshawn George, the goodies. He had 6 in the fantasy gold. Torian Prince had a good game tonight, 18 points, 4 3-balls. And Carlo Matkovic, I streamed him in a couple of leagues because of Olynyk being out. 15 points, 2 blocks, 1 3. Any comments on the top waiver wire performances of the night? Dr. A.
What did you just ask me?
Any comments on the top waiver wire
Any
performances?
comments?
Anybody that we missed?
Well, we talked about Alvarado and Keyshawn a lot. We did not talk about TJ McConnell, but Tyrese Halliburton's back. Even when Halliburton's out, you can't really rely on McConnell with all the Nembhard and Neesmith stuff going on in Indy. So McConnell, I wish McConnell would get traded because he's a damn good player when he gets to play. And if he was playing backup point guard for somebody else, I think he would be kind of like Peyton Pritchard has been. I think McConnell has that type of game in him as to what Peyton Pritchard does. So, and then I love Matkovic. I'm like on Carlo Matkovic watch. I like playing him in DFS. It's fun.
He's a great streamer when Zion is out or Misi is out or Olynyk is out, but he's only playable when one of those guys are out. All right. The duds.
There's our
of
boys.
The night. They all have ties to the Washington Wizards. Chris Middleton sucked tonight. 8 points. Okay. Kyle Kuzma, we talked about him, 9-4-2, former Wizard. And Alex Sarr, who I told y'all to pick up earlier, and I still stand on that. And I did say he did not have a great game tonight, but he did have a block, a 3, 7 rebounds. Okay, not the worst line of all time. Did I miss anybody there with the duds of the night? Is there somebody? I'll give you a dud of the night. I thought Giannis was a dud tonight with 19 points. And I know he had 17 boards, but Giannis has been cooking at like 30 plus. He had 19 points tonight. I'll give you another one. Damian Lillard, 15 points on 4 of 14. It was not Dame time tonight, Doc. Who stood out as the duds of the night for you?
Well, Damian Lillard hit 4 of 14 shots, and that's rough. And they got beat at Indy. So that's a tough loss for the Bucks. Big win for the Pacers. Giannis, 19, 17, and 7. I'm not going to hate on that too much. I didn't really put together a new list of duds other than the list that I was given by our fabulous producer, Andre. Thomas Bryant, now that Miles Turner is healthy, just do not hang on to Thomas Bryant. You don't need to do that. That's all I got.
All right, guys, we are done. 4-game Tuesday night in the books. A little reminder, me and Doc are going to be live again on Wednesday night, midnight Eastern time, breaking down all 9 games. Okay, it's going to be a huge show, and we look forward to joining you guys at that point. Another reminder, overnight here and in the morning, check us out for the preview episode heading into Wednesday night. We've got all the props. We've got all the ATS picks. We've got all the fantasy goodies for you. So that will be coming out. And a couple other reminders here before we bid you adieu. Please subscribe to the Fantasy NBA Today podcast. And if you enjoy our work, and we presume that you are, please leave us a 5-star review. That is all we need to continue bringing the show to you. Please help us out with that. Subscribe to the Sports Ethos YouTube channel and give the video a thumbs up. And check out sportsethos.com and subscribe to our work over there. Get set up with the fantasy passes, and it will help you out a lot. Also, download the Sports Ethos app, and then tell your friends about it because it's so cool. For Andre Lamouche, for Dr. A, I am Rick Kamla. This show has been brought to you by Bet Online. We will see you soon.